And welcome back to part 17 of What If Tsunade Adopted Naruto. So last time in Dragon Ball Z, what if there was no Sasuke retrieval arc in the Shippuden era? Instead, I decided to cheat a little bit and add part of a filler arc in there. And it's one of the few filler arcs that I thought was decent in Shippuden. That's why I figured, seeing as we're in a bit of a lull period between the stories going on, I might throw a little something in there. Plus, I mean, we got a completely non-canon thing going on with the village hidden in the waves, with that village basically being established. So I figure, why not kind of extend this a little bit? So with the combination of Orochimaru's threat, or Orochimaru being a threat, Team 7 had to be split up temporarily, with Hinata and Sasuke both being targets of Orochimaru having to stay back. So Sai, Naruto, and Yamato had to go off and go to the land of the waves to deal with a request. The request being coming from both Zabuza and from a leak from Orochimaru's men, from Gozu, who is basically saying you need to stop Kabuto and Gurren and the group from unleashing the Three Tails on the village and possibly having Orochimaru take control of the Three Tails. So that is where we left off. Now, Gozu immediately goes back to report to Gurren, who is a little suspicious. Now, Gozu and Gurren actually developed a very nice friendship. She was one of the few people he actually really liked and trusted, and vice versa. So she's just a little wary of where he had been, what was going on. He assures her that, no, it's fine, just had to take care of something for Lord Orochimaru. And she's just a little wary about this, but all right, fine. However, unfortunately, it is, and luckily I actually wrote their names down. The one who controlled the bats was, I believe it was Renji. Renji can sense that Gozu is lying. So he confronts Gozu about that, and, they have a bit of a tussle. Although ultimately nothing comes of it because Gozu's ability to turn to earth, mud really helps him. So what happens is now you have the Wave mission, the Team 7 mission group, going off in the direction that Gozu gave them. They had set out at a certain time, composing of Naruto, Sai, and Yamato, obviously, but Haku also joins them, having pretty much traded over to the land of the waves. You also get the Demon Brothers all going along for the ride as well. I can see them going. And they're basically the 2-3 men groups. Zabuza says, "Don't worry, kid. Don't worry. You'll get back up as soon as possible." And and then Haku knows at the summit how to call for backup if things get too tough. So basically, they go forward. Now, I think Haku would actually be the one in the lead, simply because it is technically a joint mission, but Haku's technically the highest-ranking ninja there. Probably Haku would be an Anbu of the village, just given his skill set. Relationship with Zabuza, and further years of trading. However, Renji senses them coming. Kabuto tries to get, I want to get that kid's name because I know Yukimaru. Gets Yukimaru to the base where the Three Tails is located. Gurren follows right behind while the rest of the group tries to keep them busy. So you have Kagiri and Kyo, who are basically like smoke, like fog, not fog, but they're both kind of smoky. One's like smoke clones, one creates a smoke dragon, like almost like an ash dragon. Then you also have Nuria, who was a weird guy. Like, he looks like he's almost supposed to be like a mime, but he can move his organs and has a viscous water style. And then Renji, who can control bats. Uses sonic waves which also saves him from Gurren's abilities. So Gurren goes ahead with Kabuto and Yukimaru, and Gurren, if you just need to catch up, has an Keki Genkai known as Crystal Release, which again I determined is probably a combination of Earth and Lightning. That's what I determined it to be, but you might think differently, and if you do, that's cool. So Kaku leads a charge. Unfortunately, a trap is set with some smoke clones, smoke bombs, and because Renji was able to predict that they were coming, they all, they basically are surrounded, so they, square off. And Haku immediately does crystal senbons to like go after them. Renji's hiding in the background, and I want to get that name right. Naru, the mine guy, comes and tries to attack Haku. However, Haku throws the sunbombs. They do hit, but he's able to avoid lethal points because he can change where his organs and everything are. So he then comes in with a viscous water style attack. Unfortunately, Haku's ice release makes it a terrible matchup as his body begins to freeze. Luckily, Renji's bat sonar protect him from the crystal release. There's no reason it wouldn't protect him from ice release too in that regard. So immediately, the ice crystal starts to crack and then breaks apart, saving Mind Guy. I'm just gonna call him Mind Guy because his name's not easy to pronounce. Saving the Mind Guy. Meanwhile, everyone's just being bombarded by smoke, and they're trying to suffocate the group with smoke release. Gozu, it comes behind Renji and attacks him. It's like, no, we cannot do this. We must protect Gurren. We must protect the boy. We don't have to. And he tries to explain to Renji that we don't need to be, puppets of Orochimaru. It's like, I'm no one's puppet. I'm my own guy. And, they duke it out, which unfortunately would lead to Renji's death, I think. Renji ultimately would lose that fight. Meanwhile, they're trying to suffocate everyone, and it's working until Naruto basically brings out a wind release. Because he can't just take a breath in with Great Breakthrough or anything like that, because he would have to inhale, and he would inhale smoke. So instead he just, it's like, we got them, smoke dragon! All of a sudden they stop laughing. All of a sudden the tornado fist just starts, Naruto's just holding a tornado fist up in the air. Just like, really? It's like, okay, it looks like you want this back, have at it. And then he just kind of whips it, it basically does like a haymaker with it instead of a normal, just straight punch. And he just kind of blasts it like, puh, puh. Then basically Gozu, and I believe it's Mizu and Gozu, the Demon Brothers come in and basically take those guys out. And that basically leaves Naria, basically, I think that's his name, kind of defenseless, and eventually, leading him to, be taken out by Haku. So now they're rushing forward to get to the release, stop the release of the Tsunade. I believe that was the Three Tails. Now they're basically getting on the boat, and Gurren just immediately stops another crystal. Like, you are not, sorry, you can't you cannot cross here. It's like, then he basically says, Gurren, you must stop. And, Gozu's trying to appease the guys, like, Gozu, you betrayed us? No. And then Gozu explains why he did. It's because he cares that you're the only friend I really have. You're the only one who's treating me right. And I think you think of me in the same way. You think of me as a friend, just like I think of you as a friend. I don't want to see you hurt. I don't want you to die. I want you to live. Gurren's conflicted about it. And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't allow that. And then, they're trying to break through there. Yamato's using wood release. The Demon Brothers are using probably like earth or fire or whatever. Haku's using ice in that game. Naruto even's like tries a wind Rasengan. It cracks it because wind can erode earth with time. Even crystal can erode it with time. But wind is also strong to lightning in this universe. So it's kind of 50-50. It's like Naruto sees me cracks it. He just can't get through it. It's like, then Gurren even brags, like, face it, you're not going to be able to get through. Then she basically starts to just throw crystal shards at the others. Everyone's trying to get away. Naruto pulls out the Kiba Fang and then just starts immediately cutting through, just almost dancing briefly, as Naruto's still been trying to figure out a style with these blades. He's got the basic training with Zabuza on him, but he doesn't get enough chances to pull these blades out. Plus, they're refused with lightning, which would immediately be a weakness, as we saw with Kakashi's lightning blade to the wall. So he really just suddenly channels his chakra through the blades. Not his wind chakra, just his chakra to enhance the actual ability of him, and then just kind of comes in with a straight cut. Now, they do cut the crystal, but the crystal's too thick to just cut in half. He just didn't have enough force behind that. So instead, he immediately charges up again, but this time he does it more in the fashion of like a stab and a cut, and then just drills right through it altogether with Yamato's help, who then uses wood style to keep the hole open and gets a couple of them through. Gurren creates a couple crystal clones with, I can't remember exactly the name of all the techniques she had. She had actually quite a bit. But she created guards, created kunai, and basically her crystal clones and the gang are now going back and forth with each other. Her and Haku, I think it would be, in terms of her real body, it'd be her and Haku going at it. because they'd be very similar in terms of the style of fighting they would use with their respective Kekken Genkais. When you really break it down, they could theoretically do the exact same techniques. It's just one's made out of crystal, one's made out of ice. So when you think about it, they're both crystalline type structures. And they're going back and forth. Unfortunately, Gurren does have the edge because ice is more fragile than crystal in many ways. Even if you reinforce it, even then she could reinforce the crystals. Meanwhile, Yamato is more focused on the Three Tails as he's trying to contain it, keep it at bay. However, Kabuto immediately, realizes what he's doing and just quickly just throws a kunai, not a kunai, sorry, a senbon, and it manages to hit Yamato, who pulls it out. But unfortunately, he's like, "Don't worry, it's not a lethal poison. I unfortunately didn't have time to bring any, but it'll keep you a bit occupied for the moment." No, I can't focus. And no. So then basically he forces Amuro to summon the Three Tails, and now the Three Tails is basically he's able to direct it, and the Three Tails is starting to move. And Gurren's like, "Well done, Gurren. You served Orochimaru well. Unfortunately, I think this will be the end of our deal." And as Kabuto fades in the distance to watch what's about to happen, and basically now they all trying to keep the Three Tails at bay because Gurren realizes I was betrayed. Damn it! And then goes and she apologized to Gus. It's like, it's okay, Gurren. You're my friend. I will not abandon you. So now Gurren's just like trying to keep it at bay with Crystal Beast, but it's a freaking Three Tails with its shell being so hard. And in the anime, it even has little three tail parasites that kind of like the Cloverfield monster in some ways. Has parasites. So the Three Tails is coming, and Naruto even they all try their strongest techniques. Yamato can't do anything. Haku's trying to freeze it there. Gurren's trying to encase it in a crystal. Naruto then charges a full-on Rasen Shuriken tornado fist, blasts it right in the Three Tails face, which does throw it back. It just, and then it starts using a tail beast. It starts creating a tail beast spawn. Naruto's winded from that last attack, and he doesn't even. Frankly, Rasen Shuriken probably could not take a tail beast bomb, at least not at this stage. And now Naruto all of a sudden does feel his fox chakra starting to funnel into him, realizing that the fox does not want to lose control because he's going up against the freaking Three Tails, and this is not easy, and he doesn't want to die either. So he does start pumping chakra into Naruto, who does summon another Rasen Shuriken tornado fist explosion. Tornado fist explosion, to quote Jin. I love doing the Irish accent. So just blast it again. Unfortunately, it blows them all back as the mist is just starting to get heavier from the spray of water, heavier, and just and everyone's just on the ground, just it's like no. And then the Three Tails starts coming in again, and all of a sudden the mist starts to really thicken, and just what's going on? All of a sudden he hears a voice say, "You brats. You having a little trouble here? Haku, I thought you could handle this." All of a sudden, Zabuza is there. Not in his not in his Namikaze robes, but in his battle attire, which I think it's basically like the black shirt that we see him in the second time they fight, with some ninja mesh in there. He's got the camo wrists on there, and all of a sudden there's another figure coming through the mist, and they hear a family voice like, my Zabuza, my Lord Namikaze, do you think you can handle it all on your own? I can't do a very good lady voice in this case, but all of a sudden they turn and see a very lovely woman, probably in her late 20s, early 30s, red auburn hair, blue outfit, a very mischievous look on her face. Neytirum, if I got that in the last name right, has come. The fifth Mizukage has come on aid to Zabuza as a goodwill gesture. So I see that the leaf is struggling here. Oh, that's a shame. Although I must admit, as I see Naruto, she's looking at Naruto just huffing a little bit, but his chakra recedes. She knows Tail Beast chakra. I'm almost certain she would recognize what it is, but she doesn't say anything. Except it's like, I must say that despite the fact that you weren't able to succeed, your power is quite impressive, specifically because you're going up against a Three Tail. Three Tail just kind of yells and just like, yeah, give me a second here. All of a sudden, Zabuza makes a hand sign, and the mist gets thicker because the Three Tails has to see too, and he's missing an eye. Or at least one eye's permanently closed. And all of a sudden, more steam is coming off him as he's charging fire chakra through him, which it's basically, think of it like a sauna. You're basically just increasing the heat, which increases the thickness of the mist. And then May's even just like, ooh, Zabuza, you're getting me all sweaty. He's like, not now, woman. It's like, oh, such rough talk. But you're right. Now's not the time for such things. And then she basically just basically Mount Lava style. And then she basically just starts to basically boil the water. It's like, how about some turtle soup? And this Three Tails just doesn't know what's going on. All of a sudden, Zabuza's pulling the fire. Basically, what happens is she basically coats the legs of the Three Tails in magma. It burns, but he can still move through it because the shell is extremely tough, plus chakra and everything. But what Zabuza actually does, and this is what I think would be really cool, and I really think why they never tried combining a fire and water release user together, is that he starts using his chakra to walk on the water right next to the magma, but starts channeling all the fire out of the magma to basically harden it, turn to stone, comes rushing past the Three Tails, hardening the magma, basically freezing it in place while it's blinded. All the while, he's got the fire basically coating and channeling into his blade, and all of a sudden, he just reappears on top of the Three Tails. He then signals like, just, hey, turtle. It's like fire. It's like ninja swordsman's art or secret art. This absorbing flame saber or summon attack. You can think of a name for this deck, but essentially what he's done is he's channeled all the fire chakra he just sucked out of the magma into his blade and coming for a single flaming strike straight down the turtle's head, just boom, and actually succeeds in cutting, and the turtle actually it just starts wobbling, not knocked out, but wobbling. It's like, oh, you really are tough, aren't you? Luckily, we've come prepared here. And then all of a sudden, it's like Naruto notices something, even though it's hard to see in the mist. As the mist starts to clear, because he was also absorbing heat from that, he absorbs all the heat and water from the mist. Now the mist dissipates, coming in again with another attack. This time it's not truly boiling release, but it's essentially he's got boiling water, because what May uses is acid, and it's a Keka Genkai. So people who were asking me to give Zabuza that, I can't give him that. But he's basically just it's not even steam. He condensed all the hot water vapor in the mist around his blade. It's swirling around there. And then he basically just decides to sweep down with an extra slice in front of the Three Tails. And Three Tails just, well, do you have the seal? It's like, yes, Namikaze-sama. So, but we need a container to seal it in. How are we going to seal it? Where are we going to seal it? Well, normally we'd either use a tea kettle, or if we were to make a new Jinchuriki, a young child, we don't have to. And he's looking around. He sees the young boy, but he can tell this kid's not. No, it's not a good idea to use this kid. Even though the kid seems to have some level of control over it, it's just not a smart idea. It's because the kid's clearly not cut out to be a ninja. As far as we can tell. I mean, he had an ability to control it, but it doesn't mean he was cut out to be a ninja. So Zabuza is just thinking it over, and just how exactly we're going to handle it. We got to do something before this wakes up. Gurren basically just comes in and just says, "I'll do it." He's like, "What? What are you talking about? I'll be its container. Seal it in me." It's like, you realize you might not survive that, and why should I trust you? You're the one who was working with Orochimaru and that idiot, Kabuto. You're about to send a giant demon turtle to my village and destroy it. It's like, and I know, and that's why I want to make amends. And then she explained, it was like, look, I've never had much meaning. Orochimaru gave me meaning, but it's clear I don't mean anything to him anymore. Even if it kills me, at least you'll be able to seal it in something temporarily and then find a new vessel for it. So they just talk about it and just, all right, and just think about it. We don't have much choice. And, so they agreed, and they perform the seal that would be necessary to seal the turtle away. Because let's be clear, every village had to have knowledge of some level of advanced sealing jutsu. Even the Sand, whose jutsu for sealing was crap. They even said it was a crap jutsu, sealing. They do have knots because they've all sealed their Jinchurikis away before. So, or their tail beasts away, and they've had their own Jinchuriki. So they clearly have sealing capabilities. And I'd imagine the Mist would be no different. So specifically also because they've had the three tails before in the past, so it makes sense that they would have ways of sealing it specifically. So they agree on it, and as it's waking up, they begin the process. And then a couple of the other ninja who can get back up, Haku, the brothers, everyone, even Naruto. Now, where was Sai this whole time? Well, Sai kind of had to stay back a little bit, because Sai's not stupid either. He realized that him trying to fly over Gurn's wall would have done nothing. He would have basically been useless in the fight. So as they were fighting, and as Kabuto basically hightailed at her, he instead went to Kabuto and said, as Kabuto's watching the Three Tails BC, the way he realized that Orochimaru's not going to be happy about this, and then Sai shows up and basically confronts him. He says, "My master has this for Orochimaru." And then just reappears later on like nothing happened. Unfortunately, Sai's going to be pretty much of a dick for a while, if not for the entire thing, because Sai doesn't have that bonding moment with Naruto. He doesn't need to have it, unfortunately, at least in terms of how the story plays out. So the sealing goes, and it eventually is sealed in Gurren, who they basically take back to the shore to see if she's still alive and everything along those lines. Gurren, just doesn't move, doesn't even look stupid, just wakes up like, she's getting used to it. It's like, okay, it worked. Like, congratulations. And the Amaze is like, congratulations, you are the new container of the Jinchuriki of the three-tailed beast. It's like, I'm a Jinchuriki now. Then the Naruto kind of just walks up and is like, yeah, welcome to the club. It's like, what you... And then he just kind of goes, wait, which, and then he basically just kind of mouths, 9. And basically now they kind of bring it, Yukimaru's still okay, Gozu's still alive. So basically they go back to the village. Now, what's the aftermath in this? The aftermath in this scenario is severalfold. A, you get some interactions with Mei in the actual Wave Village. It basically is part of the deal with them to further strengthen bonds between villages, and it also helps strengthen bonds between the Mist and the Leaf, as they are allies of the Leaf Village. So they are very much interested in this partnership. She again comments, that she was impressed by what she saw from the Leaf Village ninjas. And then again, she gets a gaze over to Naruto. No, he's already got a girlfriend in Hinata, and that's staying that way. It's more that she's more interested in the fact that, so they have the Nine Tails still. Okay. But no, she basically, she departs, she bids them farewell, and then gives Zabuza a quick kiss on the, not a chast kiss, but a quick kiss on the cheek, just, it's like, I'll see you later. I'm sure we'll be having many good, pleasant meetings, Namikaze. And Zabuza's just like, that blasted woman got one up on me. Oh, the next time I see her, next time I'm getting her back. Kaku, meanwhile, is just like, oh God, I don't need to see that. Now, what is to be of Gurren? Does she go back to the Mist, or does she stay with the Wave? Well, that's not going to be one of those things that you decide. No, I actually think she stays with the Wave. Now, why does she stay with the Wave? The Wave has a lot more growing opportunity. The Wave is also allied with the Mist, and quite frankly, is relatively close with the Mist Village. Like, literally, location-wise, they're relatively close to each other. All things considered, yeah, the Wave is an island, Mist is an island, but in terms of distance, are actually not that far from each other. So they agree that because they are on relative good terms with each other, it is technically like the Wave Village and the Mist both have a Jinchuriki. But also, to help with the growing of the Wave, they basically decided that it would be a good idea to keep Gurren there. as that Zabuza has experience dealing with Jinchuriki a little bit. He's also can help her. There's also other individuals in the wave that can also help them. The wave has kind of become a place for misfits in many ways. People who did not have a home to have a home. And I think Gurren, Gozu, and Yukimaru would probably be raised as Gurren's probably little brother. It would make a really good home for them. And through some negotiations, they agreed. Though Gurren would definitely be going to the mist every now and then. She'll be predominantly living in the wave. Which her crystal release will aid greatly in like construction and durability and offense, and as a ninja, just fantastically. And if she can pass that bloodline on to other individuals, that will make it even better. So that's where, that's where that leaves off. So when our gang get back, they report. Unfortunately, when they report, it's been kind of revealed that Sasuke went AWOL. What happened there? Especially with the personality that I've kind of given Sasuke here. What went on there? We'll find out in part 18 of Naruto being adopted by Tsunade. Take a guess what probably went on there. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know to review it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero magic, what if, anything you do on the channel, put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.